What's up, everybody? This is God's Good Podcast, and man, mm, the things that I have been seeing is just wow. Is wild, and I kind of laid back a little bit on the Hebrew Israelites, because like I said, not all of them think the way that some of the camps think, but there's this guy. They call him Captain to Zariak, however you say it. And I watched his debate. Y'all seen some of the videos I posted, and I had a lot of Hebrew Israelites in the comment section like talking crazy. But when I was watching his debate with God Logic, like he seemed like a guy that kind of, kind of know his. It seemed like he know the Bible, but then of course, he takes it out of context. But it seemed like he knows some stuff. He seemed like he was a guy that can really hold a debate, to be honest, to be real. But when I seen this interview with him, I was like, is this the same guy? Because the stuff he was saying was just straight outlandish. And mind y'all, it just made me think like, y'all really follow this stuff. This is what y'all follow. This is who y'all follow. Like, he's supposed to be a leader. I don't see, man, y'all just gotta check out the video, and we're gonna dive into it. So we are doing a live reaction to this today, and let's hop into it because this is crazy. It's crazy. Now he's on Tyler Oliveira, whatever his name, channel. He got like 7 million views. Well, he got like 7 million subscribers. I don't know how many views he got right now. Let's see before we jump into it. It have 701,000 views right now. So it's been 7 days ago that they posted it. And yeah, y'all just watch it. Let's just hop into it. Let me see. I wanna hop right into it.
There's, you see what we call Hebrew Academy. So this is a physical training and mental and spiritual training that we do every year where we take new members, we train them. So they're going to go through physical training, self-defense, spiritual training, learning scriptures.
Okay, real quick, you have any questions, Smith?
No, I'm just watching. I've seen them before. I just don't know what they do.
What we teach is that the true children of the Bible.
They doing self-defense training. Like they ready to fight. Like this is wild itself. Let me fix my camera right quick. It's a little bit up too low. Anyway,
Of Blacks and Spanish and Native Indians, and so we come out here to train these new members in our school.
Sounds good to me. I'm out here doing kind of the same thing.
There's one catch.
We believe that white people are probably the worst thing to ever happen to black people.
Well, I can understand.
What are your plans for her and her kind?
It's not really our plans, it's God's plan. According to the Bible, God is going to avenge black people for what white people did, so they go enslaved. You know, they got to be in chains, they got to build our kingdom, they got to serve out the judgment for touching God's people.
How you doing?
what do that sound like to y'all? That sound a lot like the KKK. they they literally doing exactly what the KKK did to our people. They taking the words, they twisting around to fit their narrative to say that they are God's people. Isn't that what those people, the slave master, did to our people? So why are you? They just don't sit right, man. But people get caught up in pride and they want to feel special. So this is why people fall into this. This is why our people are falling into this mess. They want to feel like they so stuck on the past and all that. Now, is there still like racism and all that stuff going on and oppression? Oh, yeah. But That's not of God. That's of the enemy. And it's crazy because I was thinking of this at work after I like watched this video. I was like, this is crazy how the enemy worked. He's so slick. He took the white people and perversed the words. He perversed the words, the scripture, because the enemy knows scripture better than we do. He perversed it and made, had that thing happen to our people. Like they started to take scripture out of context. And now that we're free from it, now he's taking it and having the blacks do the same thing. It's like recycled wicked stuff.
What are your thoughts on the black Hebrew Israelites?
I would need to know more about it.
Can you give her a quick synopsis of what you believe in?
Of course, you know Jesus Christ is black, right?
I don't
No,
know
he's
much
not.
about, to tell you the truth, the Bible. I do
He's Middle Eastern.
know that people are being persecuted and have been for a long time. It's the patriarchy in this country and in many other Western countries that are discriminating, and I'm happy when people are standing up for educating other people and helping us understand.
This is a very compassionate answer. At some point, though, you will be in chains and enslaved, apparently. What are your thoughts on that?
If you lead the people into slavery and destroy their identity, shouldn't there be a punishment for those people who do it?
Yes.
Is he a brother? ¿Qué es tu país de origen?
España.
Spanish count or no?
Conquistadors. We're indigenous. That's European, right?
Oh, man. Okay.
They're the ones who conquered the natives.
That's what I'm saying. They could kiss the
Yo,
boot.
yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not so sure that I myself should take responsibility other than helping the legacy of what white people did to dark people.
Hold a minute. Hold a minute. Wait, hold a minute.
España.
Spanish count or no?
Conquistadors. We're
Isn't he white? Oh, so mind y'all, they think that if you have any lineage of black on the male side, the father side, then you are a Hebrew Israelite.
the ones who conquered the natives.
That's what I'm saying. They could kiss the
Yo,
boot.
yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not so sure that I myself should take responsibility other than helping the legacy of what white people did to dark people.
She said, I'm going to help the legacy of what white people did. You know what that means? That's Trump.
No. Help erase that legacy.
He's trying to say you have
Don't give me a hard time here.
I know that we haven't done right by Native Americans, by people of color from many places we call this
You
country.
said we. What did you do?
We, the people who represent the dominant narrative in this country.
But in the Bible, this will be reasonable to me. It says that the fathers and the women who had slaves, that they would bow to the slaves. In these last days, in these end times, when Christ comes back and rules this earth, a black man by the name of Jesus Christ, the men who led our people into captivity and the women who profited off of our slavery and our blood, they're going to bow at our feet. That would be reasonable to me.
It's
You
crazy.
asking her to bow right now?
I mean, that would be reasonable. Like, if you were really sorry for what your people did,
If you feel truly bad for what your ancestors did, will you give them $20 right now?
I don't know if that would solve a problem, and my ancestors were dirt poor also.
I would say empty your bank account. When you think about it, we became the financial backing of building America. We became the labor. So when you say money doesn't change it, it does. That's why I said empty your bank account. You should too. Everybody, every white person should empty their bank account.
Would you be willing to maybe give a $100 donation to the cause?
Yeah, that.
Like right now on camera?
Well, I don't have anything.
Do you believe in justice?
I do believe in justice.
Es una posibilidad que quizás la zápido de este hombre.
I'm in my 70s now. When I die, that money's going to be gone. And it's not going to go to people who are just going to go out and buy lattes and spend it on going out to bars and whatever. It's going to go to cancer causes and causes like yours.
Like black people?
Black people. Doctors Without Borders is a big thing I support.
The first thing that came to my mind was that when she dies, she's going to help black people, not when she's alive.
No, I'm doing it now. I'm giving a huge amount of what I've got every year.
Why should you feel obligated to help black people? Did you enslave anyone?
No, absolutely not. But our society is continuing the discrimination that's based on what happened.
Justice should be done, in my mind, at the time that it happens. And if we don't have a legal system in this country or in all countries to take care of people who commit these kind of crimes when they happen, not the generations that follow, they bear some responsibility, but if they didn't commit murder, then to me, they're not the ones that should be incarcerated.
I agree with her.
Let's just not ignore the elephant in the room. We bowed at your father's feet, fed your children while your father went off to go conquer America. While my mother was working, we had to tend to your children. Our mothers had to suckle your babies before they suckled our own babies. So it'll be reasonable for you to bow at the feet of the slave. That would be reasonable if you was really sorry. You seem like a compassionate person.
I'm a compassionate person, but my apology is, or my way of saying I do not believe what went on in history was fair or just, is my way of saying that I may be with you in some areas, I may not be with you in other areas, but I want to fight for everybody right now, and I do, and I stand for that. My bow.
Look behind you. That's who fights. We don't need you to fight.
Okay.
But check this out. You just embody, and this is why God is going to put you in slavery. Because your people always try to slither and find ways out of the harsh reality of what was done to us. You know for a fact that your people hung my people from trees. This park right here in Harlem, you know, this is a black community. It's not. It was. It's not anymore. It's not anymore. You want to know why? Because of crack. Because of Ronald Reagan. You understand? So you can't sit here like a poor lily white lady. You know what you.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Vocab spoke about like Jews were the first one that came to Harlem. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think he said that in one of his videos that I was watching. So if that's true, they stuck on the wrong thing. And you can't get mad at black people or get mad because our people picked up crack. They picked that up. This is why you need God, to be led by the Spirit, to not pick up drugs and stuff. When I used to drink and stuff, I made the choice and the decision to drink, even though I knew that it was bad for me. But yeah, you want to blame people? That's crazy.
Dog and looking hopeless because of what you've done to my people.
That seems a little exaggerated, right? Do you think that's a little harsh, K2?
I can only tell you that I live my life trying to be good to everybody I'm around, and continue to do. I would.
He's saying you could be the change you want to see, and you could take a bow right now and just show a little gesture.
A bow is a gesture, and I've got a dog that I've got to keep going with. Her name is Curry.
Sit, Curry. Sit. So both of y'all, sit.
She wants to.
Curry is a sweet-looking dog. His people have gotten hung in trees, killed, molested, raped, genocided.
See how crazy they look? I feel like Tyler kind of made this more of like a comedy video too. Just to show how much, like how foolish they really look for real. I'm gonna be real. Like, yeah, this got a lot of views. Yeah, this on a big platform, but he really just letting them expose themselves.
And you won't even take a bow is what he's saying.
That doesn't fix lynchings.
But he's saying he'll do a little bit to help him.
That doesn't, you know what? You're trying to position me to be oppositional, although I may not have the same history of beliefs as you do. I do agree with you that people have done incredible wrongs that land us where we are today. I hope you see that I don't represent some privileged white lady. I am just me.
Not even like a deferential bow before you leave?
Come on. That's gratuitous. That doesn't mean anything.
But you have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
What else would you have liked her to do?
Well, she was going to kiss our boots.
Have you ever had anyone kiss your boot?
Absolutely, all the time. I didn't expect it to bow. It just really was a point to show you that even though white people seem like they care about you and seem like they care about the hardships that we went through, they really kind of negate it because it's really aimed at them. She knows without a shadow of a doubt of what other crimes some people did to us.
But she didn't do anything. That's the big disconnect. She didn't do anything. Just like you didn't go through slavery.
That's so crazy, bro. That's so crazy. That is crazy. I was just thinking, I want to know How many of you guys have mixed kids? And yet they have also white men in their organization. But they make it an excuse. Oh, it's because he got a lineage of black people on his father's side. They just
What are your thoughts as you walk away?
I hope it helps.
Even if it means you are eventually enslaved.
I don't think it'll come to that, but
It will though, right?
Yeah. God said, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword."
Is that a little harsh?
yeah, but I don't think we can actually
he's
argue
not
it
talking about
and
white
say
people
what's going
though.
to actually happen. It could be symbolic as well as literal, I think.
Okay.
No, this is literal. Hit, move, your hand up. Get hit. Bang, move, bang. This is what we call my department. I'm responsible for the Hebrew Academy. What these men are going through back here is something that all our men have gone through, all the brothers have gone through, including the head of our school, Commander Junior Hanna. You see these covers that we're wearing, this all represents the trial by fire that we go through out here to kind of bond us all together. So these are all different training techniques. So now they're using mitts like you would train in boxing. So they're using mitts to learn to punch and then slip. So this is, again, the hand-to-hand combat training that we train brothers in the school so that they could defend themselves. Fist up right here. Go. But this is just a portion of the brothers.
And they leading
We
these
have brothers in
men
Texas, South Texas right now.
wrong
We
way.
have brothers in Chicago.
They're so
brothers in
deceiving the
Florida, brothers
young
in
men.
Georgia.
It's
We even have a
crazy.
brother out in the Bahamas.
Wait, hold a minute.
They're actually doing what we
Is that a tattoo right there on his face? Ain't isn't that like one of the commandments that you should not tattoo your body? Yes. So he's broken a commandment already.
we're doing right now all over the country. So this is what bonds us together, their language, which is Hebrew, and we also teach them the biblical martial arts, which is called the Yad Karab. It's what King David used, it's what Samson used, and people don't know this. This is what Christ used as well. People think Christ was some old, just peaceful Gandhi type cat, but Christ was a superior revolutionary.
You see how literal, I can't even say the word, literal, they take stuff. Look at this. Look at this
Bonds
picture.
us together, their language, which is
Watch
Hebrew,
this.
and we also teach them the biblical martial arts, which is called the Yad Karab. It's what King David used, it's what Samson used, and people don't know this. This is what Christ.
So when you look at this picture, they take the whole thing literal when they think that God is black. His head and his hair were white like wool. See that? As white as snow. But they don't understand that what it's really saying is it's talking about wisdom. You know, gray, old, white, or whatever, like that represent wisdom. His head, his eyes were as flame of fire. They got it red. Red. Let's talk about his judgment, if I'm mistaken. His feet were the feet like unto fine brass and burned in furnace, and his voice is the sound of many waters. They took that literal. If y'all hear my son, he's in there having a fit.
Used as well. People think Christ was some old, just peaceful Gandhi type cat, but Christ was a superior revolutionary. You understand? And the men around him were fighters.
I know that, yeah. What are the qualifications needed to become a black Hebrew Israelite?
When you say recruits, we don't have recruits. Christ said this: "My sheep hear my voice." These men found us. I found Commander Junior Hanna
How did you find him?
by hearing his voice. I seen the camp out on the street. Brothers come and hear what's being said, hearing that the true biblical Jews are black, hearing that Christ died for only blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, that the 12 lost tribes of Israel are the people.
You know what's so funny? When people come to Christ, it's not just it don't start by like listening to man. When they come to Christ, it starts in the heart. Here, you wouldn't hear nothing about a Hebrew Israelite unless you go out there and you see them preaching their words. And then they take scripture and they pervert it to fit their narrative. There have been people that have had dreams of Christ without even ever hearing the word. You don't, I don't think you ever heard someone say, yes, I heard, uh, God say, black folks is his people. And if they did have those thoughts or heard those things, it wasn't God.
Who are despaired and trodden on in this country that you call America.
I
You have
want
to
to
be a
skip
certain
to another
percentile of
part.
black or Hispanic or Native American to join the Black
There
Hebrew
was a part
Israelites.
where
You're
he
going
was.
by who your father is, by blood. That percentile and all that, it comes from
Okay, let's go right
so-called
here.
white man society. I mean,
Let's jump.
how do you
Let's
know
jump
what
ahead.
percentile?
Less than $5 a month.
Okay.
Captain, we're in the HQ. Who do we have beneath me right now?
Now they at their little
You're
headquarters.
stepping on him.
This is Caesar Borgia. That's who they say Jesus Christ is. So when you come in, you actually step on the white man. They made him to replace the greatest man. So that image that right there, that would be a biblical depiction of Christ when it says hair was white. And the texture was woolly, the skin is bronze, so even the garment being green. But this is not Jesus.
Not.
This is the book I'm talking about. So this is called the Russian icons. And when you open it, these are the original artwork and imagery of Christ and the disciples.
How do we know this?
So this is artwork that they found in Europe and Russia in what they call the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages was a time when black people ruled Europe. And so as we rule Europe, we're giving out the truth. So when the white man come out them caves and they start coming in power,
Hebrew Israelites.
no, I would talk about electrical work. We could talk about you see a school shooting.
Man, I done hit. That's done hit the bad button and everything.
Quarters after an extensive security screening to ask Captain
Related, but the Lord put the difference between them just like he did between Jacob and Esau. So what matters
great grandparents are the same, right? Something like that. Jacob, Esau, and then the separate
black and white thing.
Captain, we're in the HQ. Who do we have beneath me right now? You're stepping on him.
This is Caesar Borgia. That's who they say Jesus Christ is. So when you come in, you actually step on the white man. They made him to replace the greatest man. So that image that right there, that would be a biblical depiction of Christ when it says hair was white, and the texture was woolly, the skin is bronze, so even the garment being green. But this is not Jesus. This is the book I'm talking about. So this is called the Russian icons. And when you open it, these are the original artwork and imagery of Christ and the disciples.
How do we know this?
So this is artwork that they found in Europe and Russia in what they call the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages was a time when black people ruled Europe. And so as we rule Europe, we're giving out the truth. So
Vocal spoke about that too. Dark ages do not mean that. Y'all need to look into that.
So when the white man come out them caves and they start coming in power, the Renaissance era was like a rebirth or a whitewashing. You can even find a black image of Mary in the Roman Catholic Church. And so what's beautiful about this is this not written by us. So see how this image is black? They redo the image and then make it white. So you'll notice
We're gonna go to another part of that I seen that
in the Roman
Vocab was
Catholic Church.
talking about.
So what's beautiful about this is this not written by us. So see how this image is black?
If you notice, this is not even the same picture, bro. This is not even even the halo is different. Even the clothing is different. It's not even the same picture at all.
They redo the image and then make it white. So you'll notice you see the flags all throughout the school.
Yeah.
So each flag represents each tribe and the symbol that's synonymous with that tribe. The swords. We're very militant. You know, we're not Christians. We'll whoop your ass if necessary. So we fight.
Well, you guys were training earlier, right?
Yeah,
Hand-to-hand combat.
Christ said in the Bible to sell what you have and go purchase a sword. So Christ didn't say...
Christ is a man of blood and steel.
Yeah, Christ whooped ass in the church. I say this all the time. Christ beat people in the temple. Christ wasn't somebody that was a soft and sissy guy.
Y'all really think? Do y'all really think that's Christ-like? Really?
job that God said, where God said, you're going to be the sacrifice to redeem Israel. So he did take the death, but he was about warfare.
Are you guys
Please tell me when Jesus punched somebody. In the Bible, show me in the Bible where he punched someone. He flipped over a table. Please tell me where he hit someone. Man.
labeled as a terrorist organization?
I know we're a hate group. We're labeled as a hate group. I
Yeah,
believe, like I've
or
had
literally
Homeland
a hate
Security
group.
come to my house before. So I think
What did they say?
They said, matter of fact, we might be terrorists because when he came to my house, it was a white guy. He comes and knocks on the door and he was like, he got reports that, we're terrorists. I got terrorist threats and stuff like that. And so they sit and talk with us and then he left and said, we're not that. So I think at the surface level, we are labeled as a terrorist and a hate group. The only thing that a white person could give me is their life. Like if I'm being...
Kill themselves?
Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you said it.
This man said we're not a hate group. They label us as a hate group. Then he goes and say, the only thing you can do is give your life. Basically offing yourself. Oh, this is comical for real. This is just pure comedy. This seems like a skit. Like this could be a skit on Boondocks, y'all. This could literally be a skit on Boondocks. A perfect skit for Boondocks. Especially with him. He can be what, Uncle Ruckus? The Uncle Sam one? But instead of being like for white people, it'd be for black people. He'd be like Uncle Ruckus, like brother or something. Like this is literally a perfect thing for Boondocks. No lie, perfect.
Whatever you give me would just be a token.
Like the deferential bow?
Yeah, like the bow, the boot kiss, all of that is tokens. When true vengeance is you not existing, because as the longer you exist, the more I'm oppressed.
When you see like a white baby, are you like, God, I wish you were aborted?
When I see a white baby, I'll be like, he's gonna try to enslave my people when he gets older.
Do you think racism is a good thing?
I think it's a natural thing for ethnicities to stick to their own. What becomes unnatural is when one ethnicity wants to rule over another one and then another one. That's the white man. The white man ain't content with just having his own.
So is there
And mind you, he's saying that, but yet they have black or white people in their camps because there's a lineage of someone black on the father's side. But yeah, he's talking about sticking with your own race.
time God wants you to take up arms and fight the white man and reclaim power?
Jeremiah 16:16 says, behold, I was sent for many fishers and you're fishmen, which is the time that we're in right now. Okay. So the fishing is like going out and teaching, doing interviews like this to provoke people to...
Yeah, many fishers, the share Christ, not this mess.
have questions to spark an interest about us. And then he says, there's a time I'll send for hunters and we will hunt men. So God dictates the time when we take this off. Like there'll come a time where God gonna say, take this off.
And come after guys like me.
Yeah, we might not be doing an interview that day, Tyler.
And you're being serious, right?
I'm dead ass.
You're ready to kill some white dudes.
I'm ready to do whatever God says.
Right now, it's the fishing phase. You're going to recruit some more Israelites. You're going to help them recognize.
He paused for a minute because really, that's what he really want to say. But he don't want to be put up on that terrorist label. But that's what he really want to say.
Their true origins. Mm-hmm. But one day, you're going to take up your preferred weapon.
That's right.
And I may end up on the side of that.
If the Lord chooses so fit.
I feel you're about to tear up on me. Nah. You're going to like me a little bit. When did you realize you were an Israelite?
I would hear rappers talk about being Israelites, entertainers saying it. I never took it serious. 2009 is, I guess, when I started realizing that this might be true. And so the more I studied...
Rappers. Hold a minute. I just want to bring up something. There's a couple times been when I go to intermission right quick. Now he say that, but then you got 21 Savage. Speaking of, he his practice in EFI. See that? So which one it is? Because there are other rappers that practice EFI. They don't practice the Hebrew Israelite stuff. And the thing is, one thing that both the religion have in common is focusing on black people. But they more so they do like witchcraft and stuff. And so it's just so funny that he bring up about rappers, but like you got rappers doing other stuff. Like there's rappers that believe in something that against what you believe in. I just think that funny because we see like right now there's a growth in the Hebrew Israelite community. And if y'all don't notice, like last year and the year before, there was a big growth in the EFI community. People are just going to stuff that's trending. They're just going to stuff that's trending. Especially like, you know, with my people, we want to feel like we belong, you know, and a lot of us are looking like, okay, where did black people come from? We don't see it in the Bible, but you gotta really study the Bible and you'll see that there are black people in the Bible. But it's not this E5 stuff and it's not this Hebrew Israelite doctrine that they are teaching. It's all perverse stuff that the folks are falling into when it comes down to like E5 and Hebrew Israelites. Let me go back to the live scene. I'm tripping. Man, they doing some crazy stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Studied it, the more it just became undeniable proof that not only was I Israelite, but that all of us blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians was Israelites. And once I got turned on to it, it was just no turning back. A question for black people.
He said all us black Hispanics and whatever are Hebrew Israelite, but yet you got Hebrew Israelites saying that Michael Jackson is not a Hebrew Israelite. That's crazy. This is, oh my gosh.
It's like, who are we? If you ask black people who they are, they're gonna tell you they everything. It's not gonna be a true identity. They might say I'm African, they might say I'm Methodist, Christian, I'm Baptist, I'm Jehovah's Witness, I'm Muslim, anything but who they are. And so part of the reason is, of course, slavery did a great damage to us. You couldn't read, you couldn't write. Whatever language you had was taken away, whatever culture, your way of life. So we don't have.
Also, there's a book out that's there's just one slave that's saying between I think the East Coast and the West Coast where like those slaves like the Bible was taken away from them. And then you have another set like so you have one that was like they couldn't teach Christ and the slave master didn't want them to read it because they'll find out that God is for all people. But then in another one, you'll see where, yeah, they were given the Bible, but it was like perverted. But, and these are like, this book is this Christian black slave. He's not no Hebrew Israelite or whatever you call it. Now, my y'all, like I said, I don't have nothing against, Hebrew Israelites who believe, okay, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I also believe in Jesus Christ and, have Christian theology, like, they follow Christian doctrine, but they just think, they're Hebrew Israelite. If they think that, they think that. I'll find out who they really are, you know, or whatever when they get to heaven. But at the end of the day, like, this isn't about race. The Bible isn't all about race. He even said, like, just because you're a descendant of Abraham doesn't mean that you're righteous. Your descendant, your lineage doesn't make you righteous. It's faith. It is not the commandments, it's faith. Because Jesus came to fulfill all commandments.
I have that. As I'm reading all of this in the Bible, I was
And Abraham also was looked at righteous because he had faith in Jesus Christ. Yeah.
mad at my mama. My grandfather was a pastor. I'm mad at them because it's like, how do y'all have these records, but nobody is giving us the truth? So now I'm throwing out everything that Christianity had to offer.
What age was this?
So I contact ISUBK. They tell me that they teaching in Philadelphia, and I pray to the Most High. If this is the truth, let
I don't know if they would edit out, but he didn't speak on how old he was.
me give me a sign. And when I got down there and I come around that corner and General Haas telling that white man, he said, no, you gonna kiss everybody boot. And that white man got on his knees and kissed everybody boot. I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where God told me to be.
So you want to segregate, right?
Bro, see, he seen somebody kissing somebody boot and said, this is what God want me to be. This had nothing to do with in the heart. This is what you saw with your eyes. Obviously, you had hate in your. If it had something to do with heart, you had hate in your heart, and that just fueled the hate in your heart. The hurt that you had, cause you church hurt. You church hurt, cause you didn't get what you wanted, what you was looking for, in your mind. Instead of accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior and asking Him to reveal Himself to you, you told Him to reveal, but yet you turn the corner and see somebody kissing the boot. That should have just instantly told you, oh yeah, nah, that ain't for me. This is racism. But instead, you want to feel that flesh and like, yeah, this is it.
We want whites.
Not so much segregate. I want my community to look just as good as yours.
Why isn't that possible? What's holding you back?
You guys. The urban neighborhoods is specifically targeted by your community, white America, where you let other nations come in and flourish with their businesses in our community. The CIA that you mentioned with the drug oppression, putting drugs into our community. Even Planned Parenthood coming in where they want to either euthanize or get us to abort our babies. So
The Planned Parenthood, yeah, like he's speaking some truth in some things, but you see how he just used the whole thing as leverage to perverse things and to fit their narrative.
it's not just a white person being in the community.
Right now in 2025, I would argue black people have the same opportunity to do anything. Would you agree?
Can you show me where we have the same opportunity?
Everywhere.
Give me some examples. sir.
I think you get the same job. You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so.
Tell me why.
So what was the point of DEI?
Bro, where I work at, bro, there's literally, for one, our plant manager is black. See, if you like Hebrew Israelite here, he said, you see that? You work at a plantation. They throw in conspiracy theories and all that together to make it seem like it's true. So we're gonna say plant, we're gonna say manufacturer. But even though it is a plant, if it is called a plant, this man makes like a lot of money, like 300,000 a year. he is like in charge of everything. Not a white man. My session manager is black. My team lead is black. But yet we don't get the same opportunities. See, the thing is with you know people, they don't want to. My people, and I hate to say this, but some of my black people, they don't want to do the work to get there. We're looking for everything fast because we see the white man already, um, just wealthy. But what do the white men? What have they done differently? They give over their wealth to down the line. Us, we like to fight over it and fuss over it. When we get in charge, we don't like to help another brother out. To keep it real, when we get in charge, we ain't trying to put no one on. When you look at Hispanics, what they doing? When they work, they all work together and they put each other on. They put each other on. People from other countries, they come over and they say this is easy. Go to the Philippines. It is hard. We're spoiled in America. They don't realize that, but we're actually spoiled in America compared to other countries.
Why was that
to establish a
implemented?
quota to include people that in the workforce, right?
Right. White women have benefited more from that than we have in 2025. In 2025, I just don't see how we're any different than 1965. When the immigrants came over here early, so like if Jewish immigrants come over here, the jobs that they would get would be corporate jobs, nurse jobs. For us, since we've been in here, they want you to get a UPS type of job, Burger King type of job. They tell you have a limit to where you can go. So we're at a disadvantage where you guys had like a 400 or 500 year head start. So you don't even have.
Why you have a limit? Let's see, because we want to sit there and sell drugs. We want to go there and commit crimes. So guess what? Now you got a felony on your record, and now you can't really get a job. Doing it to ourselves. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And then you see the successful black man. He's the one who who follow God or who haven't committed a crime or whatever. You know, I've seen my boy Rashawn go from, his story going from working. What in the world are they doing in there? Go from working at a restaurant to now he's like working with engineers. David, look at David. David had to attend the sheets before he became king. People just want a quick, easy way up to the top. That ain't how it worked. But in 2025, he's saying it's the same way. No, it's not. We have the internet. We have social media. People are flourishing on social media. It's actually easier. Go make you some content. Work hard. So the internet is like, there's money. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have TikToks back then. They didn't have that back then. There's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all these different platforms where you can make money at.
I have a black community. You have a mixture that black people live in. So when you go up to your corner, like if we go out here to Harlem, you're gonna see Cohen's, you're gonna see Dunkin' Donuts, you're gonna see CVS, you're gonna see all different stores. In the Bible, the rich are supposed to take care of the poor take care of the rich. That's how you create an internal ecosystem. And with all these rich, wealthy black people, if they created that type of ecosystem, which wouldn't cost as much as they think it is, then we could actually fix the community. So although we're highly represented.
You got a point right there. That is true. But like I said, our people don't like helping each other.
In the NFL, the NBA. But when they get their money, it's about them.
A lot of people think you guys are like, these guys are the crazy guys who are.
So he had a solid point right there. I think that was the most solid thing he said out of the whole interview. That was the most solid thing he said. But brother, you just following a false doctrine. I ain't gonna lie, he would be, bruh, he would be on fire if he was following the right doctrine. And I pray that Captain Tazariak, I pray that God revealed himself to him. Cause this brother he would have a lot of blessing coming his way. I truly do believe that if he really followed Christ. But with that being said, we're gonna start the video right there. That's 45 minutes. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I know I'm gonna have some Hebrew Israelites in here talking crazy out the side of the neck, like y'all always do. Most of them probably won't even watch the whole video. They just gonna see it and then they're gonna talk their trash like they always do. They bruh, open your minds. Be open. Find someone who really know Christ. Learn from them and then make your decision. God give us free will to make our decision. If you want to stick with that, stick with it. I'm praying for you. But if you decide to turn your life over to Christ, we'll be rejoicing. But with that being said, I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.